what is happening. You know, I was trying to get this done yesterday, but the lighting sucked. So I decided I'd wait till this morning to come in here and actually do the drawing of what I'm going to do. But I want to show you a couple of things real quick. You know, over the years, I've collected a bunch of templates and, you know, and this just helps you. And trust me, man, building like a really cool Tele knockoff or Les Paul or Junior or something like that, you know, that's where you want to start out. Don't do anything too crazy. You know, the simpler you keep it, the better it's going to come out, believe it or not. And there's a reason I know that. But anyway, I'll show you just some templates. So, you know, there's your standard, you know, Tele template. There. There's Les Paul. You know, another great design. This is actually a P bass, so kind of like a Strat Tele combo, but a P bass. Here's, you know, the super cool SG. I dig these guitars. I really think they were pretty cool. I have one, but yeah, I like this. I'm not showing them to you up here, but I should be. SG. All right, guess. Right, PRS. So there you got a PRS. Here is your standard Stratocaster. Dun da da da. The Longhorn, the Dan Electro, and this is pretty cool, you know. Have no idea, but I one of these days I want to build one or get one or something. I think they're pretty cool, but that's just me. So these next ones are my designs over the years, and again, they're homage to some of the builders. This is my John Jr. I call it John Jr. After John Roberts' bird, but you can see it's kind of a PRS-ish. And then this one here is the G string, and I made a bunch of these. This was my bolt-on version. Yeah, so the G string Rhythm Master is what this was called. And I dig this. I still have a couple of these that I actually kept. My New Mexico guitar I still have, which is pretty cool. So there's that. And then this is the mud bass, and I have like, well, let me show it to you backwards, like it's a lefty. I have like, I don't know, 4 or 5 of these basses. These are what I played in the band for probably like the last 10 years. And then I played other people's stuff for the, whatever, 15 years before that. So, this is something we designed for my buddy Zulu. You can see it's kind of a, I don't know, Thunderbird Explorer sort of thing. Yeah, so I've made him a couple of basses. But this is the one I think I'm going to start with. And this is the Mayhem. I built a number of these guitars. My American Flag guitar, the Union Jack. A bunch of the other ones were this Mayhem design here. And I think this is where I'm going to start anyway. I don't think this will end up being the final shape, but this is going to get me in the ballpark. What I was saying a little while ago is, you know, I just like to move lines around. I'll do this one, and then I'll draw some lines on there, and then I'll come back and look at it later until I really find something that appeals to me, something I walk in and go, yeah, man, that's cool. If I dig that, then that's what I'll stick with. So first thing I'm going to do is I am going to create a center line down this piece of paper here. I've got this butcher paper here that we use. I'm going to use a Gibson scale length, 24 3/4, because I dig it. I dig Les Pauls, and I think a lot of cats dig Les Pauls. So that's what I'm going to use this time. Now I've got my fingerboard laid out, I want to talk about the headstock a little bit. I've got a couple of designs I've used over the years, and I've used this one a number of times on that Mayhem guitar, but I think I'm going to use this one. This is one of my older ones that I used to use on the acoustic guitars that I was building back in the 90s, and I kind of dig it. I kind of dig the little offset swoopty thing. So I think I'm going to start with this. So I'm going to set this just over the nut position on the center line there. This desk I'm using to draw this stuff was my father's. I grew up in DC, and this particular desk came out of the Armory. He bought it at auction coming out of the Armory, and it was used for submarine design back through in the Second World War and the Korea. So I've got my protractor here, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay out a perpendicular line to my center line at my nut position, and then I'm going to come back from the end, and that's going to be my little shelf. One of the things that normally you would do is figure out your fingerboard widths. I think I want to go with 1 11/16. So now, you know, where is the neck joint? Well, you got some options here. And some of the stuff you want to think about is accessibility. Do I really need to get up to this 24th fret? Am I even going to do a 24th fret? I don't really know that yet. I'm going to wait till I start kind of drawing this up, and then I will see. I'm going to put a mark here just about 1/4 inch past the 24th fret. If I do 24, that'll represent the end of the board. But again, once you do that, you're really kind of stretching the guitar out a little bit, depending upon how you want to access. So bridge position, so that's pretty critical, okay? If I'm going 24 3/4 here, I'm going to measure up to my 12th fret, and I should be half of that, so I should be 12 3/8. Then if I come up from the 12th fret forward, I'll go that same 12 3/8 there, boom, and that's really my bridge position, roughly. I'm going to have compensation in there, but you can adjust that out with the electric bridge. So that's pretty much where that is going to fall. Okay, so there is the rough beginnings of my instrument. Now, one of the things I'm going to do on this guitar is a bit of a carved top. I want to kind of pull this thing up a little bit. I'm going to do a core. I'm going to chamber that core. Then I am going to do a top. And I've got my little dragon tail F holes that I do. So I'm going to do that. That top will get glued onto it. And then I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the back. But that being said, I want to start moving some of these lines around here. I'm going to say 2 humbuckers. So I'll put a humbucker there. And I'm going to do a single piece tune-o-matic. So what I mean by that is that the tune-o-matic, the strings are actually going to attach to it, and the adjustments are in it. So I think I'm going to do that. Okay, I am back. So if you guys get a look at this thing, I've done some more work on there. My lavalier died, so while I was waiting for it to charge up, I went ahead and did a lot more drawing on this thing, and I'm pretty happy with it. I'm pretty cool with what's going on. I've got the center of the tuning machines laid out, and I actually drew in the 2 E strings because I got my bridge dimension at 52.5 millimeters, so I drew those in. And then the pickups, I think I'm going to use those Filtertrons, which I really like. I may go to humbucker, I'm not positive, but I've drawn those in as well. And then I'm not crazy about the F-hole positions. I think I want to kind of twist them out a little bit. Volume, tone, this will be a push-pull, and then my 3-way switch and my Strat style output jack there. So I've kind of got this laid out pretty well. However, I'm going to redraw it, and that's what's going to happen now. So I'm going to put another piece right over top of this, and then I'm actually going to redraw this into my final drawing, hopefully. So let me get another piece of paper laid out here. Okay, I'm kind of digging that. So now we got that going on. So finally, what I want to do is I want to lay out my F-holes. And one of the things I want to tell you guys about is my buddy Al. He runs a company called GuitarPartCenter.com. Guitar Part, P-A-R-T, no S. So GuitarPartCenter.com. And Al makes me all kinds of cool templates and everything. He's got a nice laser cutter. And a while back when I designed this F-hole, originally I designed it for a viola that I made. And then I used it again on a resonator. And now I'm actually using it in this guitar here. So I had to have him kind of blow it up a little bit for me. Make it a little bit bigger than last time. So he did. Okay, so check that out. That's my super cool F-hole. Yep, dragon's tail. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure out. I'm going to place this where I think it looks good, first of all. And like on a cello or a viola or a violin, any of those things, this little notch in the center here, this little tiny notch right here, would be exactly where your bridge lines up. So I am going to use that. Okay, there is my 2 Filtertrons. Now I'm going to put the switch just below that. Bridge. Okay, well, there's a few more details I can draw in on it. So why don't I do that now that I got all cleaned up? Just going to go along the edge here. Alrighty, well, I'm digging it, man. I think this is it. This is going to be the great guitar build-off instrument. I know I didn't make a lot of crazy sawdust or chop a bunch of stuff up today, but it's all good, man. I got the visual. I'm see what I like. So, you know, I'll come back tomorrow morning and take a look at this and see if I'm still digging it, if I want to push some more lines around. But all in all, man, I'm really liking it. So next thing will be wood. I'll start pulling out pieces of wood and figuring out exactly what I'm going to use, get some measurements, figure out my chambering and all that kind of stuff. But right now I'm kind of digging this thing. Cool. So I hope you guys are digging it, and hope you're learning something. Like I say, if you really want to get into this stuff, you know, I know Roberto Venn really well. If you want to come out there, you can hang out with me. And there's other, you know, there's other schools, other resources you can tap into, but RV is probably the best place, the most hands-on place that you're going to go to actually build an instrument. Also, don't forget about Al, my buddy Al, at Guitar Part Center, guitarpartcenter.com. He makes all kinds of templates and luthier tools and stuff like that. You'll be needing that stuff if you get into this. I think that's it for Mud, you know. I'm going to roll on out of here, and then we will get back together soon. So I hope you're digging this first video, and stay tuned. Groovy, baby.